Greetings and welcome back to my game talk. Today I'm going to be talking about something, of course, related to games, but not directly about games. I'm going to be talking about game distribution platforms, specifically Steam and Origin. Steam belongs to Valve. It was created in 2003 for Windows exclusively, and over time it's expanded to Mac, to Linux, and even mobile devices in 2012. Origin came along a lot later. I believe, if I'm right, at the earliest 2010, I think 2011 was the actual release date, sometime, either 2010, 2011. Now, what is a game distribution platform? It's a digital, essentially a way to digitally download games directly from the internet. It's a fantastic medium for doing so as well, I have to say. Steam was created by Valve, the famed creators of the Half-Life series, and I suppose initially it was created for the Half-Life series, but over time Steam, i.e. Valve, began to distribute other games vis-a-vis the Steam distribution software. And it's expanded. You can chat with people, you can do many, many things on Steam. And I guess the most relevant thing to PC gamers on Steam is the fact that there are these discounts. Right now there's an autumn discount actually going on. Some things are up to 75% off, anywhere from I think 33% to 75%. It's quite the discount. And you'll find this nowhere else, on no other digital platform, at least not to that extent. So Steam is this incredibly successful digital game distribution platform, as well as a means of social interaction. The chat works quite well. It's reliable. There are all kinds of little features. You can send people gifts. You can buy other Steam members games and gift them these games. I've done that before, and people have done that for me. There's just a lot of options that make Steam really, really good. Now, of course, Steam was not always tremendously reliable. In the beginning years, which I missed, I signed on much later than 2003. But from what I hear, it had its issues, as all things in their inception can, in fact, do. I mean, they have issues sometimes. But over time, Valve got it right, and Steam, by far, for PC, is the primary, or I would say best even, digital game distribution software out on the market. Lots of people use it. In fact, since starting using Steam, it's the likelihood that I'll ever buy a CD disc for a game has, well, I probably never will do that again. I can't think of a reason why I would. So Steam has really been a boon and a blessing to PC gamers across the globe. Whatever issues it had in the beginning, those issues more or less have been corrected, and there are constant updates, and the updates are efficient, and there's good help resources if you have problems. I'm kind of trying to think, in the several years I've used Steam, never had issues with Steam. So Steam, very successful, the magnum opus of digital game distribution software. So that's what we have there. And Steam was created by Valve. On the other hand, in the other corner, fearful, its tail between its legs, you have Origin, or as some of us like to call it, Orifail. Origin was created by EA, I believe, either in 2010 or 2011. Don't quote me on that, and you'll pardon my ignorance, but I just never bothered to research the exact inception date of Origin. I don't even think it's that relevant. It's not worthy of being studied to that extent, perhaps. But Origin is also a digital distribution software. It's a piece of digital game distribution software that you can download games from. Now, it's not created by Valve. It has nothing to do with Valve. It was created by EA, Electronic Arts, our friends, the great stewards of BioWare, the publishers that guide BioWare in the positive direction that BioWare has been in the last couple of years. Please note sarcasm. Well, Origin, in contrast to Steam, is of course a lot younger. But anyone who's used Origin even a little bit, and certainly for those who've used Origin extensively, you will have noticed that it is just fraught with problems. I mean, that's all there is, really. It's one giant problem. The friends list won't load. The DCs, the disconnects if you're on a multiplayer platform, it's just incredibly unreliable. Origin is sometimes the store won't load properly. I'm not talking about the store in-game, but the store on Origin. If you were to want to purchase a game, it won't load properly. It's just very, very unreliable, and it seems overall to lack the degree of anonymity that Steam does, in fact, have. So in the beginning, people were quite apprehensive, rightly so, of signing on to Origin. I guess we all feigned our protestations. But then over time, we gave in. We wanted to play Mass Effect 3 or multiplayer, and we gave in, and that was it. Well, unfortunate for us. Unfortunate for us because we're all on Origin now, many of us, and if we want to play BioWare games, we have to sign into Origin. You'll first see, for example, there's a massive sale on Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition, which I've actually considered getting, possibly, very cheap, on Steam. But that was the last BioWare game, or Mass Effect 2 as well, I believe, or maybe not. But that was the last either Mass Effect 2 or Dragon Age Origins that you could actually buy and download on Steam, and play on Steam. Everything else henceforth, Origin. Everything will be downloaded from Origin if it's made by BioWare and published by EA. But why? Why, for example, does EA or BioWare just not have its games on Steam and have them sold via Steam? Dozens and dozens of game developers do this. Bethesda, Valve itself, Activision. I mean, the list is pretty endless. It's all there. Well, it's quite simple. It's a question of profit. EA is famed. I mean, everyone is about greed at the end of the day. No, I mean, everyone does something in order to make money. Publishers, gaming publishers, of course, no exception. In fact, they're very much just about the money, specifically the shareholders. EA is probably more about the money than any other publisher I can think of. The problem, if you want to call it a problem, for game developers and publishers, if they want to use Steam, is Valve takes a tiny cut, a bit of a cut of the profits when purchases are made. I don't know what the percentage is. I don't think anyone has access to that data. But if you buy, let's say you buy Dragon Age, well, I'm not sure these days how that would work, but let's say you buy Assassin's Creed 3, just an example. That game, I think Ubisoft makes it. Sorry, that's what I meant before. Ubisoft will get most of the profits, but then Valve, vis-a-vis Steam, will also get a small percentage of that as well. But obviously the mechanism works. Obviously the dysfunction, this means of purchasing, and everyone seems to be happy with it. This works. The mechanism works. People are content with it. If they were not content, they would not be putting these companies like Ubisoft, whatever, would not be putting their games on Steam available for purchase to begin with. So it works. However, I imagine prior to the inception creation of Origin, and certainly once it was announced, that what EA had in mind was, no, we don't want to lose any of our profits, however minuscule and minor they might be. So of course, we're going to have our Origin, our own digital software, game distribution software, and people will have to buy the games, at least digitally, from this piece of software as opposed to Steam, because we don't want to lose profits to Valve or by distributing our games via Steam. Well, I guess it's good for EA, but Origin has really just been nothing but problems. The updates are messed up. They take exceedingly long. The friends list doesn't show up half the time. Some people are shown as being offline, online. The reliability of the servers is, well, terrible to say the least. That's kind of a euphemism. So really, Origin is fraught with problems. It's a piece of junk, unfortunately. That's why we call it Orafail. But Steam, you don't have these problems. And yes, it's much older, but what I don't see happening on the part of EA is improving Origin. They say they are. But in the future, if you want to play a title such as Dragon Age Inquisition or the next installment of Mass Effect, well, you better make yourself comfortable with Orafail, because that's what you're going to be playing on. You will not be able to purchase these games on Steam, to my knowledge. These become Origin exclusives because EA doesn't want to lose profits to Valve, or lose profits in general if they decide to distribute the game via Steam. Yeah, you'd think, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. EA still probably would have greater profits if they put their games out on Steam, the newest games. And why? Because so many people refuse, understandably, to sign up with Origin and create an account, but have no such inclination to refuse with regards to Steam, and would thus be inclined to buy, perhaps, BioWare or EA published titles on Steam, but not on Origin. This is a win-win formula. At the end of the day, it comes down to simple mathematics, right? Let's say you can only, I don't know what the percentage is, let's say you sell a game for only 90% profit, as opposed to 100%. Let's say you can sell 5 games on Origin at 100% profit rate, but you can sell 30 of them on Steam at a 90% profit rate. Right? It's a no-brainer. So this is the messed up metric that EA uses. Nobody likes EA. Yes, they're improving. They're giving the developers time to develop, blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, there's no end in sight with regards to improving Origin. And we need to be keenly aware of this. Now, I've kind of resigned myself to the fate of being stuck with Origin if I want to delve into games such as Dragon Age Inquisition or the next installment of Mass Effect. We will, in fact, be stuck with Origin. I have no doubts about this. Rest assured, Orafail will always be there for us. And so will Steam for many, many other titles, but not EA-published titles, I believe. I could be mistaken about this, but because the older titles prior to the inception of Origin are available on Steam, but you have to have Origin if you want to play as far as these games. And this is similar to in the sense to, if you want to play Skyrim or New Vegas, you have to have Steam. Okay, fair enough. But the problem is Steam is 1,000 times better than Origin is. So, ladies and gentlemen, lords and ladies, that's the sad tale of Origin, of Orafail, what we all got stuck with, perhaps unwittingly, perhaps wittingly, and much to our displeasure. We're just going to have to deal with this in the future and pray to the gods that the gods will that EA actually improves it such that it is somewhat comparable to Steam in its reliability and the many other functions and options that players have on Steam. That would be my wish. Fortunately, the next few titles, beginning with that Dragon Age Inquisition on my part, that are being released under the auspices of EA, are a fair bit off, relatively long way off, and we can only hope that Origin, which I believe is still beta, will be improved in the next 9 or 10 months. But that, my friends, is something that only the gods know, unfortunately. Until then, may those self-same gods watch over you, and everyone take care. Bye-bye.